Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight and happy Father's Day. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news, the Florida Highway Patrol is mourning one of their own this evening after a vehicle hit and killed a 30-year veteran in the line of duty. FHP Master Sergeant William T. Bishop was responding to a car pulled over into the southbound emergency lane of I-75 in Alachua County following a crash when a secondary collision occurred, knocking the car into Bishop. He was transported to a nearby hospital where he was later pronounced dead. The incident is under investigation and charges are pending. An armed robbery suspect has been arrested and confessed to the robbery of a Bradenton convenience store as well as 2 other robberies in Manatee County. Bradenton police took John Ramos into custody shortly before 3 a.m. this morning. Ramos was then interviewed by detectives when he confessed to robbing the Quick Stop convenience store in Bradenton as well as 2 other Manatee County thefts. Deputies say Ramos entered the Quick Stop located on 26th Avenue West around 10:30 p.m. on Saturday when he held the clerk at gunpoint and took an undisclosed amount of cash. The details of the other 2 robberies have not yet been released. This investigation is ongoing. The nonprofit arts and culture industry in Florida generates nearly $5 billion in total economic impact, supports over 130,000 full-time jobs, and delivers nearly $5 million in local and state revenue. That is all according to a report released by Americans for the Arts this weekend. The last study on impact of arts and culture in the state was completed in 2009, which found a $3.1 billion impact, a nearly $2 billion increase over the last 8 years. Father's Day can mean a number of things to a number of different people, but for fathers who outlive their children, it can be a difficult holiday. ABC 7's Erica Jackson joins us with the story of a local Gold Star father who honors his son every day after he was killed in the line of duty. Erica?
There's a group of 60 men in Florida who identify themselves as Gold Star fathers, including one who lives here in Manatee County. Chris Hager became a Gold Star father when his son Josh died serving his country as an Army Ranger. The Gold Star recognizes parents of armed services members killed in action, and Florida has chapters of local organizations for parents to come together and honor their children killed in the line of duty. Hager tells us he takes life 5 minutes at a time and says days like Father's Day don't get any easier, but they get different as he continues to honor Josh 10 years after his death.
He called me 6 days before we lost him and he said, "Hi, Dad, I just called to tell you I love you." He was one of those heroes that led people and loved what he did.
Now the Hager family's mission is education, teaching the community about Gold Star families and how to properly honor America's fallen heroes. Coming up tonight at 11, we'll tell you why local Gold Star families were recently invited to the White House and how one member may get a permanent seat in Washington. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Erica. Other dads on the Sun Coast met up at a special event centered around something that has long brought together fathers and sons, cars. ABC 7 photographer Sammy Chido was at the 5th annual Fathers and Fenders car show that happened earlier today and spoke with some local fathers and their families.
I had a few friends out here and I saw it on their social media, so I decided to come out here and then I called my dad and he came.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. Love the old cars. We both like cars anyway, so this was perfect.
Came to Sarasota to have breakfast at the breakfast house, and while we were here, we decided to stop at the car show. And then we're going to go to Lido Beach and stop at the beach. I recently moved down here from Ohio, so we're starting new traditions.
I just usually go to breakfast, hang out with my folks a little bit, then do something fun for the day.
We really don't have any traditions. We try to spend the day together and just do whatever we want, really. Nothing important or usually scheduled. I was driving when he called me and told me about this, so this was pretty exciting.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the other fathers.
Happy Father's Day to everybody else out there and all those that couldn't be here serving overseas.
All right, thank you very much, Sammy, for that special piece. Well, the tropics are heating up with some weather, and it could mean some potentially bad weather here on the Sun Coast. Let's head over to Wendy Ross, who has been keeping an eye on that activity today. Wendy?
And we are looking at this one system that is a little bit closer to home. So we're going to start with this one here, and this is the one that is still south of the Yucatan Peninsula, but it is expected to move across the peninsula and into the Gulf of Mexico over the next couple of days. Air Force reconnaissance planes were going out to check out the system system, but they cannot find an enclosed circulation. So until that happens, they're going to hold off just a little bit. They may be flying into it tomorrow just to investigate it a little bit further. It now has a 70% chance of developing over the next 48-hour period, and the possibility is a 90% chance from 2 to 5 days after that. And once it moves into the Gulf, we still don't know exactly where it's going to go. The second system is one that has now got the potential of becoming our next tropical storm. This system continues to move towards the west-northwest at around 20 miles per hour. 35-mile-per-hour winds right now, and as it continues to move in this direction, there are now tropical storm warnings that have been issued for this area of islands. These are the Windward Islands, and this is where there is a tropical storm warning that has now been put into effect for a little bit longer, probably throughout the next 2 days as the system continues to move towards the west-northwest. There's now a 70% chance that it will become a tropical storm, and that's going to continue for the next 5 days as well as it moves off towards the west-northwest. In the meantime, we're getting a lot more rain than we had yesterday. Showers are continuing to come on in from the south, and they're moving on up towards the north. We'll let you know what's going on in our area in just a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you, Wendy. A heads up for drivers who may be heading towards University Parkway on I-75 tonight for 6 hours starting at 11 p.m. tonight. The I-75 northbound off-ramp and I-75 outside right lane will be closed at that diverging diamond interchange. The closure is so construction crews can continue finishing pave work on those lanes. Motorists traveling north on I-75 wishing to exit at University Parkway will instead be directed to continue north, exit at westbound State Road 70, enter back onto the highway southbound, and then exit at University Parkway. These closures are also pending inclement weather. The U.S. Navy is launching an investigation into the crash that killed 7 American sailors this weekend after their bodies were recovered today. Officials want to know how a huge container ship managed to hit a sophisticated U.S. destroyer off the coast of Japan and why that ship made a bizarre course change right before impact. ABC's Chuck Sievertson reports on that with more on the investigation.
A heartbreaking discovery on board the USS Fitzgerald.
We've discontinued the search and rescue.
The bodies of 7 missing sailors found in the flooded wreckage of the Navy destroyer. The commander of the 7th Fleet revealing the damage you can see, the ship's mangled midsection, relatively minor compared to what you can't see.
The damage is mostly underneath the waterline, and it's a large gash near the keel of the ship. And so the water flow was tremendous.
The collision pitted the 9,000-ton Fitzgerald against the 30,000-ton ACX Crystal, the container ship's bulbous head plowing right into the crew's living quarters, giving them just minutes to escape and save the ship and themselves.
They had to fight the ship to keep it above the surface, so it was traumatic. This was a severe emergency, but the ship's crew was swift and responsive, and I can't tell you how proud I am of the crew for what they did to save the ship.
The ship's skipper was injured in the collision and had to be airlifted to shore. Navy divers found the missing crew members' bodies. It's unclear if they were killed by the impact or drowned in the flooding.
We do have watch teams that are awake throughout the night, but a significant part of the crew was sleeping.
The 7th Fleet now ordering an investigation. Multiple maritime trackers show the cargo ship completing a giant U-turn just minutes before hitting the naval vessel. The search for answers just beginning. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News, New York.
And back here in the States, an attention for Publix shoppers. The grocery store is recalling their tropical fruit medley mix, a product due to possibly the possibility of listeria. The item was sold in Florida and was recalled after they received notification from their supplier of dried apricot that may be contaminated. The product has since been removed from store shelves. Still to come here on ABC 7, a devastating fire turns one country into a disaster zone. Officials calling it their deadliest forest fire in recent history. And it's all eyes on the special congressional election in Georgia as President Trump takes to Twitter to comment on some recent backlash.
If you are age 85 or younger, a final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage. Your premiums won't increase, your benefits won't decrease, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now.
Call 800-676-1339.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce.
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by 1 on any or all numbers and still win.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Welcome back. This video may look like the scene of a horror movie with abandoned and burning cars stretching across this roadway for miles, but this is no movie set. It's aerial video taken from Portugal after the country saw its deadliest forest fire in recent history. So far, 61 deaths have been confirmed, and investigators say that number is only expected to rise. The fire began on Saturday night and burned for 95 miles. Officials believe that strong winds only added to that destruction. Reinforcements, including more firefighters, water dumping planes, and Army units are due to arrive Monday to assist in that cleanup. And now an update on the London high-rise fire. Investigators are saying a material used in the renovation of the building may have been banned under UK building regulations. Experts believe the exterior cladding, which contained insulation, helped spread the flames quickly along the outside of the tower in the Wednesday morning blaze. That has killed at least 58 people. Now the government is carrying out an urgent inspection of roughly 2,500 similar tower blocks across the country to assess their safety. President Trump back on Twitter as the political world tries to decipher what he's saying about the probe into Russia and whether or not he confirmed that he is under a federal investigation for obstruction of justice. ABC's Gloria Riviera is in Washington with more.
President Trump headed back to Washington after his first trip to the presidential retreat, Camp David. Trump starting his morning once again tweeting about the distraction of the witch hunt. But it's another tweet from earlier this week keeping the Russia investigation in headlines. Quote, "I am being investigated for firing the FBI director by the man who told me to fire the FBI director. Witch hunt."
The president has not been notified by anyone that he's under investigation.
Trump's legal team saying the tweet was just about a report that he is under investigation for obstruction of justice, not a confirmation. But even one of his most staunch supporters is confused.
Trump has a compulsion to counterattack and is very pugnacious. I don't think it serves him well. I don't think that tweet helped him.
Gingrich has been taking aim at the new special counsel in the Russia investigation, accusing Robert Mueller of getting political, hiring too many Democrats.
I think the answer is they want to lay the foundation to discredit whatever Bob Mueller comes up with. I don't think we should acquiesce in the besmirchment of this good man.
This Tuesday, the president and the entire political world will be watching a special congressional election in Georgia. Democrat John Ossoff making a strong showing in a traditionally Republican district against GOP candidate Karen Handel.
This election, it will indicate that people are prepared to change, and I think many people will see the handwriting on the wall.
Both parties pouring money into the district, making it the most expensive House race in American history. Gloria Riviera, ABC News, Washington.
And Wendy, going back to some of those fires, especially ones in Portugal, not long ago that was us with the dry conditions and the winds, but it's been a lot of rain lately.
We've had a wonderful amount of rain, and we get pockets of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall as some of these stronger showers come on through, and that certainly is what happened once again today. So we saw some of the heavier rains coming on in, affecting parts of the coastline, also parts of areas out east, and right now we're starting to see more and more showers developing. This picture looks awfully pretty. It may not last that much longer, though. We're seeing some blue sky right here near the waterway, but we are starting to get some clouds developing to our south, and they're starting to move up in our direction. So you can see the rains all coming on in. They're moving mostly from the south towards the northwest. Other showers are forming out here in the Gulf of Mexico, and they too are wide enough that they're going to be coming in and affecting our coastal areas as well. So at this hour, we're seeing some spots of heavy showers taking place, primarily right now across Sarasota and Charlotte counties, and mostly right here closer to the water's edge, and then east of I-75 we're seeing those rains in Sarasota County. And of course all of this wet weather is moving on up towards the north and west, and you can see it's affecting parts of Hardee and DeSoto counties as well, and so we're going to continue to see this rain falling for the next couple of hours. Pockets of heavy rain, that's what we've been getting over the past 24-hour period, and you're seeing 1.5, 2.2, 2.4 inches of rainfall, again, just in pockets taking place, but we've got more rain in the forecast with much more shower activity expected beginning tomorrow. Now, when you take a look at this map, you think, oh my goodness, this is the big storm coming at us. This is not the tropical system that we're focused on right now. This is an area of a great deal of moisture east of the center of that system. And so we're watching this as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, and it too is going to provide plenty of rainfall over the next 3 days. But our focus right now for the tropics is this area right here, and this is the Yucatan Peninsula right here, and this is the system I'm talking about. It's going to be moving into the Gulf of Mexico. Right now we don't know where it's going to go. Hurricane reconnaissance planes canceled their trip in because there hasn't been a system center defined. So until that happens, they're holding off. They may send a plane in tomorrow. It'll be moving into the Gulf. Where it goes, nobody knows, but there is a very good chance now, a 70% chance that it could develop over the next 48-hour period. So definitely keep your eyes and ears tuned to this system. The next one is farther out into the Atlantic. It's moving towards the northwest at 20 miles per hour, 35-mile-per-hour winds now. As a result of its movement, we're now getting tropical storm warnings that have been put into effect for the western islands. The windward islands is where we're going to see this affected, and it's a portion of that is going to be affected. So this system is going to continue to move, and it has a very good chance, a 70% chance over the next couple of days to become our next tropical system. So that's something we're going to continue to watch. Today we got up to a high of 89 degrees. We had a little bit more sunshine, but we did have a lot of cloud cover around. That helped to keep our temperatures on the lower side. And so what we're going to be seeing for tomorrow is we're going to back off of those temperature highs, 86, 87 degrees, as we see that 70% chance of rain. You're going to laugh when you find out that Wednesday is our first official day of summer, not till Wednesday, but we've already started. Adam?
Now, sports.
I disagree. Summer has definitely started by now. Well, Florida and Florida State are two of the 8 teams who are still playing this summer with a chance at the College Baseball World Series. The Seminoles opening up against LSU on Saturday, and former Sarasota Sailor Dylan Busby opened up the first inning with a 2-run bomb to center field, and it put the Noles up 2-0 early. Next inning, crazy play. Tyler Holton strikes the batter out, but the ball gets away from the catcher. Runner on first makes it all the way to third, and then he is going to go for home when he sees nobody is covering. Scores easy for LSU's first run. Can't happen. 8th inning, it's more defensive struggles for FSU. Holton giving up a single to right. The ball gets under the right fielder's glove. Throw to second, unable to handle by the shortstop, and LSU's Cole Freeman is going to try for home. That throw home in time, but the catcher misses it, and the Tigers tie the game on 2 throwing errors. One batter later, Greg Dykman up at the plate, able to deliver the 1-out single to right field off Holton. The runner scores, and FSU lets their opening game slip away. They are headed for the losers bracket. University of Florida, the Gators will be playing their first game tonight against TCU, and that game is scheduled to start at 7 p.m. The Rays had a chance to split their road series with the Tigers today. Logan Morrison putting Tampa Bay out in front early with a 2-run homer in the first, and it's Lomo's 20th of the season. Later on in that game, bases would be juiced with Steven Souza Jr. at the plate, and he lifts one deep to left for a Father's Day grand salami. Way to go, Steven Souza Jr. This was a big home run day for the Rays. Later on in the 7th inning, it's Evan Longoria at the plate, and he slams one to left field. That's the 4th homer of the game. Rays would score all 9 of their runs on home runs, 5 total as a team, and Tampa Bay starter Jacob Faria strikes out 9 over 7 innings. The Rays just firing on all cylinders this Sunday. Well, it's been years since Tim Tebow fumbled, but this could be the baseball equivalent. During a humid night in Charleston, South Carolina, the quarterback turned pro baseball player misses the ball but finds a fan after losing grip of his bat. Tebow would grab some fresh lumber from the dugout and finish that at-bat by striking out, unfortunately. And his team would lose 3-0 in the game. On the year, Tebow is batting .228 with 3 home runs through 58 games with the Columbia Fireflies. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you, weeknights at 5.
Well, it's a very happy Father's Day for artists Jay-Z and Beyonce, who are celebrating the birth of twins. That's according to Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, who shared the news in a Sunday morning tweet. However, so far there's been no official confirmation of that birth from the couple themselves and no word on the gender or the names. Hopefully it's something to match 5-year-old sister Blue Ivy, or that would kind of single her out. Beyonce announced that pregnancy back in February on social media. Yeah, so hopefully it's not like Jack and Diane or something, and then Blue Ivy as the outlier.
No, you can't. No.
Yeah, expect something strange.
Turquoise.
That's my advice.
I like
turquoise.
That could be it. What do you think? Or crimson? Or something.
Emerald.
Oh,
we could go on and on.
Oh, we
night.
could go on and on. You don't want to hear us say that.
Hey, Hova and Beyonce, give me a call if you need any help with that.